My name is Mr. Ocheng Anthony, and today I'm going to take you through Integrated Science Grade 7. We are going to handle the first strand, that is scientific investigations, and the specific substrand that you are going to handle is laboratory safety. In our previous lesson, I introduced you to integrated science, and we said that in science we normally carry out some practicals, and those practicals are normally conducted in the lab. Learners, I want you to understand that as you shall be conducting those practicals in the lab, there is need for you to remain safe and secure. Therefore, in this particular strand and substrand, we are going to discuss the various ways in which we can ensure our safety when we shall be operating in the lab. Welcome. Before we begin, we have some terms that we are supposed to familiarize ourselves with in order for us to understand laboratory very well. The first term is the term laboratory, and a laboratory is basically a building or a room that is normally designed and equipped for scientific studies. You can also define it as a special room that has been specifically designed for carrying out various practicals or experiments in a given institution. The second term that you are going to define is the term specimen, and a specimen is an organism or a part of an organism that is normally used for scientific studies or scientific practicals. The third term that you are going to define today is the term laboratory apparatus, and this is a scientific tool or an equipment that is normally used for performing scientific practicals. Our fourth term that you are going to define is the term laboratory safety. And laboratory safety normally refers to the practices, the procedures, and precautions that we normally use to prevent accident, injuries, or exposures to dangerous materials when we are operating in the lab. Normally, when you are operating in the lab, to ensure that you do not incur any danger, we normally have some laboratory safety rules that are normally put in place. Laboratory safety rules, these are normally the rules or guidelines that are normally put in place to ensure safe working conditions when you are operating in the lab. Learners, I want you to understand that lab has some dangers within it. Some of these dangers, we normally call them hazards, and an hazard is anything that has potential to cause harm or injure someone. We are going to discuss the examples of hazards that we can encounter in the lab, and examples of these hazards include: number one, we have open flames; number two, we have open electrical sockets; danger number three, we have broken glass equipments; number four, we have flammable chemicals such as ethanol; number five, we have chemicals that emit dangerous radiations; and finally, number six, we have corrosive chemicals such as acids. I want you to understand that in order for you to ensure you are safe, you are supposed to read the symbols that are normally found in various equipment and containers that are normally used in the lab. Majority of the containers that you'll get there will have some symbols, and when you see those symbols, you are supposed to know or interpret the specific meaning of that particular symbol. Like for example, in our table, the first symbol that appears in this table is normally a symbol for radioactive material or substance, and radioactive materials are normally substances which produce radiations. The second symbol that you can see in our table is a symbol for electric shock, and normally if you come across a substance that has this symbol, normally these are substances that can electrocute somebody. Then the third symbol is normally a symbol for toxic material, and toxic materials, these are normally substances that are poisonous in nature. Then we have materials that are carcinogenic. The carcinogenic materials are normally substances that can cause cancer when someone is exposed to them. Apart from carcinogenic material or substance, there is another symbol, and this symbol stands for a biohazard. And if a substance has a symbol for biohazard, then it means that that particular substance is a biological substance that is normally dangerous. An example of a biological substance that can be dangerous includes body fluids like blood, saliva, urine, or the rest. The second symbol in our table represents a substance or a material that is corrosive in nature, and basically these are substances that have ability to damage living things or equipments that they come into contact with them. Then the next symbol is a symbol for flame. That symbol stands for flammable, and these are substances that can easily catch fire. The last symbol in our table is a symbol for oxidizing, and normally these are materials that contain oxygen that can be taken by another substance that is more reactive than them. Learners, again, I want you to understand that these materials that we are calling hazardous or dangerous in nature, they can cause accidents if you are not careful when you are using them in the lab. Examples of accidents that can occur in the lab, we have number 1, we have burns, number 2, we have scalds, and number 3, we have falls. Burns are normally caused by open flames. They can also be caused by corrosive fluids. Scalds, on the other hand, are normally caused by hot liquids or hot fluids. Another accident is an accident that we are calling falls. Falls are normally caused by slippery floor or litters like banana peels that have been carelessly thrown on the floor. We also have more accidents here. There is an accident that we call cuts. Cuts, this one can be caused by sharp objects such as scalpels or razor blades. Another accident is suffocation, and suffocation is normally caused by inhaling poisonous fumes. Another accident is poisoning, and poisoning is normally caused by accidentally ingesting or swallowing materials or chemicals that are harmful in nature. How do you ensure that you do not uh, find yourself in danger by exposing yourself to any of these accidents that we have just listed above? When you are operating in the lab, we normally have some safety rules that have been laid there. And we said that laboratory safety rules are guidelines that have been laid down to ensure a safe working condition when you are operating in the lab. Some of these laboratory safety rules include the following. Number 1, you should never run or rush while you are going to the laboratory. Number 2, you must ensure that when you are in the lab, you must be neatly and safely dressed when you will be carrying out your experiments. Number 3, when you are operating in the lab, you are not supposed to smell a gas directly from a gas jar. When you want to smell a gas from the gas jar, you are only required to waft the gas into your nose and not to smell it directly. Another rule that you must observe when operating in the lab is that you should not interfere with someone else's experiment. Apart from that, in case of any accident, you should not scramble for the same exit. The reason behind this is that when you do so, you will be interfering with easy escape. Another rule is that you must ensure that all gas are closed after use. And finally, you must always leave the laboratory cleaner and neater than you found it. Learners, today we have learned that when we are operating in the lab, we have some accident that can occur. Accident number 1, we have an accident that we are calling cut. There is another accident that we are calling scald. There is another accident that we are calling poisoning. And normally these accidents are normally caused by dangerous things that are normally located in the lab. Those dangerous things that can cause injury or can harm somebody, we have discussed and we have said that we normally call them the hazards. And examples of hazards that we have listed today, we have slippery floor, we have open electric wires or electric sockets. We said that we have broken glasses that have been carelessly placed on the floor. All these materials are dangerous and they can expose you to danger. So, learners, I want you to always ensure that when you are in the lab, you maintain those rules that have been laid there that are meant to ensure your safety. Rule number one, we've said that wherever you are going to the lab, you must not rush there. Again, when you are operating in the lab, you must make sure that you don't interfere with someone else's experiment. Apart from that, when you are operating an experiment that produces gas, you must always ensure that you do not smell that gas directly. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.